All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Business Showcase series. We're in Leslieville today, and I'm joined by
Matt.
Matt, what's your last name?
Schachteveck.
Schachteveck? How do you spell that?
It's S-C-H-A-C-H-T-E-V-E-C-K.
All right, we'll have
Really
to replay that to get that in there. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Matt.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me, where are we? Give me location. What's the store about? What's it called?
So yeah, we're right at the corner of Gerard and Carla, right across from the Real Jerk. We've been here for about a year and a half now.
Yeah.
We started out right across from Gerard Square on Pape there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so our store, it's kind of a mixture of things now. It started out as just a vintage clothing store and cafe, but now we have a barber shop, we have a record store inside, and we do a lot of like community things like movies, comedy showcases, all sorts of things, art. So a lot of community events that we try and involve ourselves. Like we're having a pottery workshop this week. So
nice.
Yeah, we're always trying to do like stuff for the community.
And it's all happening in this space?
Yeah, most of it all happens in this space. We do have a patio over at the other space where we have, actually that's where our film series is every week. So yeah, it's like right on the streetcar, easy access to pretty much everywhere in Gerard. Yeah, and it's all vintage clothing, 1940s to 1970s mostly. Very specialized and curated for the most part, but also modern. So
yeah, there's some really cool stuff in there. You need to spend almost like an hour in there just to kind of get familiarized with what's inside. And
yeah, there's a lot of different sections, a lot of different like really special pieces that are some of my favorite things that we have in the store. Me and my wife Jen are the ones that curate everything in here. And then we have a team of 3 employees, actually 4 employees now. So yeah.
Nice. So you're growing.
Yeah, we're growing. Yeah.
Good. I really like the space. It's a great frontage. Like you said, you're right on the street, right across from the Real Jerk.
Yeah.
It's easy for people to kind of recognize.
Everyone kind of knows that spot because of the Drake music video. So.
Exactly. And you've got this brand new condo being built right here.
Yeah,
so there's going to be tons of visibility.
And there's one actually right around the corner.
There's one right around the corner too. Yeah. And there's a lot of development going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how'd you get into vintage clothing? Has that always been something that?
Me and my wife have always been in retail. We worked in corporate retail for a long time, but I've always vintage shopped since I was a kid. She's always vintage shopped since she was a kid. And so we worked in corporate retail for a long time in San Francisco. I worked for like Levi's and Gap. She worked for Restoration Hardware in Williams-Sonoma. They're both all headquartered there.
Oh, okay.
And she was actually born here. So I'm from California. I'm actually from California.
Oh, okay.
And so we came out to visit her family, and we're like, "There's nothing really like this here, like this sort of vintage done here." And so we decided to move out here and open it. So we were like, we moved here with the goal to open this shop.
Are you more of a surfer or a snowboarder?
It's funny. I never really got into either of those because I was actually I played basketball. I played like collegiate basketball. So I was that was pretty much my thing that I did.
All right.
Yeah.
What position?
It's like shooting guard, small forward. Yeah.
Nice. And like, what did you just kind of decide not to go with it?
Oh no! I just blew out both my knees, so so I didn't have a choice.
Oh no!
Yeah, but that was like. It's kind of blessing in disguise. It was time to move on. I think from there. But yeah. So we moved out here to
Canada.
Yeah.
To lovely Canada.
Yeah.
You must love the winters.
Actually, honestly, it's funny. It bothers my wife more than it bothers me. I think. I'm a big body guy, so I can handle the cold. I actually don't mind it. I do when I go to Florida and California in the winter,
and it reminds
I come
you.
back, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Exactly.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, I think what it is, like for me, I've lived here a pretty long time, and you kind of get used to it. But at one point, it's like, oh, this is enough. Especially last winter. Yeah. It's just dragged on and on and on. Yeah, you can't do things like this, like sit outside, have a coffee, chat. You know what I mean? You're like running from one spot to another.
So yeah, hopefully we're trying to think about how to combat that and have some sort of outdoor seating when it comes winter time. So we'll see what we
had like
an overhang or something. We're gonna see what we can try and figure out because it would be nice
with
to
some
like
space heaters. And
it would be nice to do something like that where you can kind of still have that patio setting, but in the winter. So
So tell me about the coffee, because I'm a big coffee, fiend. Like I need my coffee in the morning. It's got to be strong. It's got to be good.
Our co-owner Zoe, who's actually most of the time always at the other shop over there. He roasts everything in house.
Okay.
So he traveled in Indonesia before he came to Toronto. He's from Winnipeg, Manitoba area. Mm-hmm. Traveled in Indonesia, really saw how they roasted coffee, saw how coffee was done there. Really kind of fell in love with the process of it. And then he came here, and then we got together, and we were going to start the clothing store, and he wanted to start a cafe, and so we're like, well, let's just do it together. And so that's kind of how it came about.
How'd you guys meet?
So he used to date my wife's sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So at the time they were dating when they moved back to Toronto, and then that's how we've known him for a while at that point.
Okay.
But yeah, so he roasts all the coffee in house in a small batch roaster, like a little pig roaster, it's called. In
the store, like in the back?
Yeah, in the back, in the alley. Like there's like a little alley roaster room that we built out over there. Yeah, so everything's roasted in house. We have 4 or 5 different types of blends now, like an Ethiopian, a Mexican, a yogurt chef. We had an India and then a decaf as well. So there's a couple different ones that he does. It's honestly all great because you don't really have coffee that fresh anymore.
Yeah.
That's like been roasted that week.
Yeah.
For the most part. So.
And he's sourcing the beans from.
Yeah. So we have bags of green beans at the other shop they're just sitting in front of the register there. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What kind of competition do you have? I mean, like how many? I think there's a coffee roaster on, is it Gerard near Broadview? I think there's one there, right?
Merchants, yeah. There's one over there. I don't know. It's like the city, with how many people are in the city, it doesn't seem like competition is that, everyone has their favorite coffee. So as long as you make a good product, I think people will come to you. Yeah. And, he has we have people that have been going there for 4 or 5 years now. So I think even though there is a lot of coffee in the area, I don't think competition is that fierce because people just find what they like, what type of coffee they like, and just keep going there.
Good.
Yeah.
So, tell me about, operating a business these days. Like what sort of challenges are you facing? Like, has it been pretty easy and smooth? Like what was the,
No. Last year we were closed for 2 years of the pandemic. We were closed for about 12 months in total, 12, 13 months in total on the clothing side. The coffee side we could still operate, which kind of gave us a little edge because we could still kind of keep the doors open, but people couldn't shop or try stuff on, but they could pick up stuff, so that kind of gave us a little bit of a buffer. Yeah. But yeah, it's been tough. With we were closed from Black Friday until like summertime pretty much last year. Same with everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's like some of the biggest months of retail. So that was hard. And then we decided to open this store during the pandemic. So that was kind of, it was an opportunity we couldn't pass up with the space. Like
it was a good deal.
You've seen how big the space is.
Like, it's massive.
We couldn't not take it. And so that was, put a lot of stress on us, but I think we're finally getting to the point where it's becoming profitable again, and we're like able to do all the community stuff we want to do and do everything we want to do, in the space, instead of having to worry about like, are we going to make it this month? Yeah. So yeah, it's getting there finally. Okay. It seems like we're finally getting out of the pandemic funk it was.
And you've only been here a year. Yeah. And this is a really visible spot, so as the community really gets to know you and sees you, and people walk by every day.
And we have a pretty good social media presence in Toronto. We have a lot of customers that come from the West End.
Awesome.
It's I think as more people find out about us, it's just going to keep growing from there.
Yeah. So then how'd you, I guess the first location was the Pape and Gerard. How'd you guys pick Leslieville as opposed to, let's say, the West End?
Well, we lived in like the Monarch Park area at the time. And so we kind of wanted to find something near us, but that wasn't the main factor. I think there wasn't really anything like this on the East End. There's not really anything like this in the city, but especially on the East End. There's a saturation of vintage clothing stores and cafes on the West End. And closer to Kensington Market area. but nothing really on the east end of the city. So we kind of wanted to become sort of a destination spot where you kind of have to travel to come see it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's good. I mean, you I guess if the person puts in the time and the effort to travel across the city to come here, then that means that they'll probably, find something they like, or they'll be impressed with it.
Yeah. And one thing we noticed, like during the pandemic and post-pandemic, well, not post, but like where we are now in the pandemic, we've really had to focus more on content and showcasing our products and showcasing, just ourselves on social media, just to kind of keep that traffic. Because even though we're on a busy street, it's not really a foot traffic street. It is here. It is like on the weekend more, but not during the weekdays. So we definitely had to focus on social media and content more to get people out here.
And that's working.
Yeah, it is definitely working. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you hire a team, or are you guys just doing it yourselves?
We do. Me and my wife pretty much do everything, but now we have a community and events marketing person that her name's Eula. She does like all of our community stuff, she runs all of our events. She's amazing. We have Savannah, who's our floor manager, who takes care of everything in the store, so we can focus on the clothing and sourcing aspect. We have a photographer named Raph, who does all the photography, and then we have Matt, who does all of our e-commerce. So we have a team of people helping us on all of the like day-to-day stuff, so we can really focus on the product and focus on, the stuff that we want to do to not only for the community but in the store, and also like making sure we're always having the best stuff we can have.
Gotcha.
And the best product we can have, to give to everyone.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How often do you have to go and like source new clothing or new items? I mean, you had some really cool cowboy boots in there that I saw.
Yeah. We're sourcing almost every day, honestly.
Every day.
Yeah. We do online, and then we have connections in France, UK, Japan, that we are kind of a lot of our French workwear we import from France. A lot of our
like the heavy denim stuff that I saw.
Yeah, all the like the deep blue indigo stuff. That's all French workwear from the 50s that we get from France. A lot of our military we get from a guy we have in Japan and Australia and the UK. So we had to really kind of figure out how to source or change the way we source, not only because the stuff we wanted was very curated or very like specific, but also because you couldn't really go into places during the pandemic and buy stuff you used to be able to. So we're always sourcing. We do one main drop a week, but we're always like bringing in product. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is there something in there that's like super unique that people wouldn't expect to find, or?
I think like I'm trying to find. That's a good question. There's a lot of actually really unique pieces. There's like our Japanese Sukajan. They're like souvenir jackets from like the 1940s and 50s.
Oh, the ones up there?
Yeah. Those are pretty rare in the vintage market. We have some really rare military pieces. But there's definitely some like rare pieces that some of it's not for sale that we're just gonna keep. They're kind of like archive pieces.
Like collectible items?
Yeah, like we have an original Eddie Bauer parka from like before he was Eddie Bauer, and he made like goose down parkas for the military. So stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to leave? I think the best thing for anybody who's watching this video is to come in, check it out, come and grab a coffee. Are you here almost every day? Yeah.
Me and my wife Jen are here pretty much every weekday. I'm here Saturdays because we have our kids. So on the weekends we try to spend as much time as we can with them.
Do they work in the store sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. It's a little crazy when they're here.
Yeah,
they're 4 and 7, so.
And you got a lot of like little pieces in there that.
But yeah, sometimes they're here. But yeah, I would say the best thing is just to follow us on Instagram to see what we're doing, because especially during the summer, we've had a lot of like really fun, like a pottery workshop. We had a tattoo event. We had
here.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had like a fried chicken sandwich place come in. Like we're always trying to do stuff just to keep, showcase new things and to like partner with interesting people. And So yeah,
that's awesome.
And that most of it's always on our Instagram. What's going on?
Did you get a tattoo that day?
No, I didn't. I wasn't actually here that day.
Right.
We were actually overseas, so I missed out. But we're gonna do another one.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
cool, great. Well, listen, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
really
thanks so
appreciate that.
much.
Yeah, great talk. And address is
841 Girard.
841 Girard Street East, Leslieville, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right, thanks so much.
Bye.